No, we do not. I'm just gonna let Amy Klobuchar speak. Yeah, she's still going. With her,
Trump.
CNN's playing
No,
Terry
only
McAuliffe
if we go,
right now.
Everybody's fighting.
And Trump is
Unfortunately.
building.
There's a lot for Democrats to be nervous about with the way that the primary is playing out. One of that is how long it's going to take. One of them is how the attacks are getting more pointed. And one of them is voter turnout. Unless we start seeing, I mean, since Trump was elected,
all right, this woman's an idiot. Sorry, we cannot. All right, we got to get some guests in here. We'll see if we can get Brendan Slater for you. Right now, Amy Klobuchar is speaking now. And it is the big night for her. And we are going to try and get Brendan Slater on the line very, very shortly. But it looks like CNN is still let Amy Klobuchar speak on your network, CNN. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, we are going to continue to follow this. 45% reporting. Buttigieg within a few points of Sanders as he continues to do well in rural towns, but eyebrow or eyes emoji. Manchester is still mostly out. Buttigieg headquarters, though, by the way, is at capacity. They're not letting more people inside. And the thing is, Buttigieg, he can come out, do a smarmy walk, and be like, New Hampshire, we did great tonight. We came in second. Victory is ours. Like, he's going to do something exactly like that. It's that's what's going to happen. You just know it. I'm calling it right now. And yeah, so that's very, very interesting. Yeah, 45. It's going to be interesting. Just the big task now is where the vote is, and how much of it we can sift out and kind of determine where it could be. Here as Sanders, Warren, we don't know. We just don't know. And where those votes right now, just about 1,000 more votes remaining for Sanders and Buttigieg at this point in time, mostly in Manchester, these big areas in Manchester. 29% more, 30% more of the votes, 29.7% to be exact, of the votes in Manchester still remain right now for Bernie Sanders. Claremont is a big, big spot, and Durham as well. That college town of Durham is going to be a huge boost for Bernie when that comes in. And that just dwindled, actually, because more votes were reported by a little bit there. And he's estimated to get 9 delegates out of this right now still. And 8 for Buttigieg, 7 for Klobuchar, and nothing for nobody else. Like, that's all for everybody. That's pretty much all they get right there. Yeah, we'll try and get some guests on here for the line for you, because I know it's getting a little bit quiet in here. We got to ham it up, and we will definitely do that for you. And maybe even Andrew Harris. But of course, James still sick with the flu, so you don't want to put too much pressure on James to get in and make himself even more sick, because we need his political analysis definitely for the future. But this is very, very interesting stuff as it is all now continuing to unfold. Looks like Amy Klobuchar is speaking. People are hyped. The white college educated women are hyped up right now. Let's take a listen.
Thank you, New Hampshire. Thank you, New Hampshire. We love you, New Hampshire. Hello, America. I'm Amy Klobuchar, and I will beat Donald Trump. My heart is full tonight. My heart is full tonight. While there are still ballots left to count, we have beaten the odds every step of the way. We have done it on the merits. we have done it with ideas, and we have done it with hard work, because we are resilient and strong as the people of this great nation. Thank you to our incredible staff and our unstoppable volunteers, my wonderful husband, John, our daughter, Abigail, and the people of New Hampshire. Because of you, we are taking this campaign to Nevada. We are going to South Carolina. And we are taking this message of unity to the country. Because we know in our hearts that in a democracy, it is not about the loudest voice or the biggest bank account. It is about the best idea and about the person who can turn those ideas into action. We know that we cannot win big by trying to outdivide the divider-in-chief. We know that we win by bringing people with us instead of shutting them out. Donald Trump's worst nightmare is that the people in the middle, the people who have had enough of the name calling and the mudslinging, have someone to vote for in November.
Vote NDP Trump, vote NDP Trump, vote NDP Trump, vote NDP Trump, vote NDP Trump.
I cannot wait to bring our green bus around the country. I cannot wait to win the nomination. I cannot wait to build a movement and win with a movement of fired up Democrats, of independents and moderate Republicans that see this election as we do. We see it as an economic check on this president. We see it as a patriotism check, and we see it as a decency check. Because in the end, we know that what unites us is so much bigger than what divides us. And we know that we believe, so many of us believe, that the heart of America is bigger than the heart of this guy in the White House. Tonight is about grit. And my story, like so many of yours, is one of resilience. I announced my candidacy in the middle of a Minnesota blizzard. And there were a lot of people that predicted I wouldn't even get through that speech. But not the people of my state and not the people of New Hampshire. Except then they predicted that we wouldn't make it through the summer. We did. Then they predicted we wouldn't make it to the debates. And man, were we at the debate in New Hampshire. What we've been is steady, we've been strong, and we've never quit. I think that sounds pretty good for a president. But across the months and months and miles of this race, we redefined the word grit. You see it with our Happy Scrappy campaign. You saw it in our 10-county, 30-hour tour in the middle of a nor'easter. Let's not forget that. You saw it in our early morning diner stops, on our late-night rallies, and yes, you saw it on that debate stage. Just like so many of you out there, I know a little bit about resilience. My grandpa worked 1,500 feet underground in the mines in northern Minnesota. He never graduated from high school because his parents were sick. He had 9 brothers and sisters, and he had to help raise them. And every day he would go down in that cage in that mine carrying a lunch bucket that my grandma would pack. His youngest sister, Hannah, was only 8 years old when they put her in an orphanage, and he vowed after his parents died that he would go and get her. And 2 years later, he borrowed a car, he went to Duluth, and he brought her home. He and my grandma saved money in a coffee can in their basement to send my dad to a 2-year community college. My dad then became a newspaper man. My mom, she was born in Milwaukee, the site of our next convention. And she came to Minnesota and taught second grade until she was 70 years old. And I still meet people that say she was their favorite teacher. So I stand before you today as a granddaughter of an iron ore miner, as a daughter of a teacher and a newspaper man, as the first woman elected to the U.S. Senate from the state of Minnesota, and a candidate for President of the United States. That, my friends, that is because we live in a country of shared dreams. That no matter where you come from, no matter who you know, no matter the color of your skin, no matter where you worship, no matter who you love, that you can make it in the United States of America. I didn't have a perfect life. My dad struggled with alcoholism his whole life, and by the time John and I got married, he got his third DWI. And then the judge said to him, you got to decide jail or treatment. And he chose treatment. And in his words, he was pursued by grace. I believe that everyone in this country should have that opportunity to be pursued by grace. When Abigail was born, we thought it was going to be this perfect thing, but she was really sick, and she couldn't swallow, and she was in intensive care. And back then, the insurance companies had a rule, and they kicked me out of the hospital, even though she was in intensive care, in 24 hours. And a few months later, I went to the legislature, worked with a number of legislators, and we passed one of the first laws in the country guaranteeing new moms and their babies a 48-hour hospital stay. That's how I do my work. And as my friend Elizabeth noted earlier tonight, people told me, just like they told her, that they didn't think a woman could be elected. In my case, it was elected to the U.S. Senate. No woman had ever done it before. But I came back, I defied expectations, and I won. And I have done it. And I have done it over and over again in the reddest of red districts and the bluest of blue districts. And when I got to the U.S. Senate, people told me, oh, it's so hard to get things done. Well, in that gridlock of Washington, D.C., I have passed over 100 bills as the lead Democrat because I did not give up. And tonight in New Hampshire, as everyone had counted us out, even a week ago, thank you, pundits, I came back and we delivered. We have been on quite a journey together, and you've learned this about me. I never give up. But my story is nothing compared to the resilience that I've seen all over this country.
As we see playing out here, this is the Amy Klobuchar victory speech. Like the mood by all reports there, and you can tell by the response, like, and the stuff that she's saying, like, they said that we would make it past the summer, but now we're here in third place in a small state which is mostly white. Yeah, like the race. I mean, I don't know how much of Klobuchar is going to be featured in it, but again, so it's a big push for her, and it's going to be interesting to see if she can get a surge off of it, as Klobuchar and Pete, who have had that, and I really have had that that kind of back and forth. on the debate stage. We can play some of those clips. Like they've gone back and forth. They are starting to realize, I think, that they need each other. Like they know they need to defeat one another. Like one cannot